Oh, I accidentally shaved all my face off. So, MandJTV just made like 18 new Pokemon. One new Pokemon design for every single type. I'm gonna check out all of his designs and then draw them as official looking Pokemon. And if I laugh at him or his drawings ever, I have to do 10 squats. This video is all in good fun. I asked Mikey if I could do this. He said yes, so let's go. Normal type.
What's an animal that we don't have a Pokemon of yet? An opossum.
Sure.
Okay, they have pointy ears.
Oh.
This is going so well. Okay, so check this out. He's
Oh,
got
no.
a baseball mitt
No,
on
not a
one
baseball.
hand, and in the other hand, he's holding a bunch of berries or apples or some other kind of fruit. And his name, get ready for it, is Otossum. Oh, that's very funny.
I like that, actually. I like that. So is every Otossum born with a baseball glove? Did humans make baseball gloves? Or did Otossums make baseball gloves and we copied them? Yeah. Either way, I can still see the potential in this Pokemon. I'm kind of getting, you know, your Route 1 normal type vibes. I started throwing in the baseball hand glove thing, but I just couldn't do it. But he still does throw his little berries around. I went with like a mix of Gen 5 sort of fur styling and Gen 1 eyes. Got a bit of a Pikachu shaped body. I think it's always a good idea to look at other Pokemon when you're doing the colors. So based on the kind of gray color scheme that Mikey did, I looked at Puchina, whatever, and basically took that color scheme, plus this epic pink. And yeah, here they are. Otossum, the Opossum Pokemon. I gave it a new ability, I guess called Berry Collector, where if it's not already holding an item, it'll pick up a random berry at the end of every turn. I also made up a new move called Berry Toss. Maybe if Otossum is holding a berry, it throws it, does extra damage, and maybe it changes type depending on the berry it's holding. Next one, Fire type.
I definitely think that a pepper is a really cool way to make a grass fire type.
That's probably
so
what-
I'm making one that's a lizard.
That's probably what Way Coco's kind of going to be, right? Ghost Pepper?
Well, this design was pretty simple,
Oh.
but I honestly think it looks really cool.
I like it.
How about we call this thing Komonyo? Komodo from Komodo Dragon and Jalapeno.
He's good at names off the spot. This was definitely the easiest one of the bunch. He kind of nailed this. A little four-legged Charmander chili thing. I was so tempted to put the fire on the tail, but I do that too often and you guys will get mad and it's not there in his design, so I'm not doing it. Let's compare. Kimonyo, the chili lizard Pokemon. I gave it dry skin and flame body because chilies are hot. I gave it fire lash because I can imagine it having like a little fire tongue. Not a little one, like a long one. It goes psh. And seed bomb because I'm pretty sure chilies have seeds, right? I could see him evolving into some massive dragon thing. Big chili dragon.
Fighting! I feel like just some kind of ninja.
Is this a Fortnite ninja reference?
That kind of looks like an Ultra Ball. And we're gonna call it, train it. 'Cause it's a ninja in training.
I like
this
that.
one would need an evolution. That's the whole point. This is a baby one. As you can, he's very small.
Don't tempt me. I'm not going to do it. I don't have time. I'm not going to do it. This guy started to work straight away. The silhouette was super obvious with the little things flailing at the back of his head. And I really like the big kind of Spider-Man eyes. The blue, black, and yellow also worked really well. And he mentioned it looking like an Ultra Ball, so I just went all in. His head is an Ultra Ball. Training the ninja Pokemon. I like this. I could definitely see this evolving into something sick. Infiltrator is a ninja sounding ability, and Limber, because he has a Limber body. His stats are actually kind of insane. Everything sucks except for his attack, which is really high for what he is, and his speed, which is insane. He has Smoke Screen because that's a ninja thing, and I made up a new move, Sneak Attack. I think it's a dark type move, and maybe it's like Priority Flinch, like Fake Out.
A sea creature that I'm genuinely surprised we don't have a Pokemon of yet
The Dolphin.
is the Orca, because those things are badass.
True.
Red stripes.
It's looking like
the blood
Kyogre,
of its
man.
enemies. Wait, blue and red, that's Kyogre. And its name is going to be Orcane. Maybe this is a pseudo-legendary. It's water and fighting or dark. If it fights to defend sea creatures, it's water fighting. If it's just a jerk, then it's water dark.
This is gonna be fun. Oh, hey look, Panda. There you go. I personally love fighting type Pokemon, so I went with water fighting for this guy. And he is a beefcake. Look at those arms, dude. I tried to make the patterns work, which I think they did, and then I basically used Poliwag's color scheme. Orcane, the Orca Pokemon. And like Mikey said, it fights to defend the sea creatures. I gave it Justified, which is a very, like, hero ability, and Big Pecs, because, like, look at those. They are a pseudo-legendary, so that's a 600 base stat total with a massive attack stat, heaps of HP, heaps of defense, and they gave it Wave Crash, that new water move from Legends Arceus. Also, look how big they are.
All right, flying. We're gonna make a flying dog Pokemon. And he's gonna have big ears. Look at that. Isn't he cute?
By the way, can we have Mega Evolutions back? Do you know how many wasted Pokemon designs there are? Do you know how good Mega Absol looks. It's basically perfect.
And we're gonna make him green for Team Sky. Oh my God, where's the leak?
I guess Shaman vibes. I wasn't expecting green. I'm a big fan of making Pokemon kind of represent the color of the thing that they are. Green? So I'm gonna think this is a grass type. But I respect what you're going for.
Call him Flop Flap. It's Flap.
I had to do an action shot for this one. You can just see it flying around on those ears. I ended up going like almost flying type evolution with this, but it's not an evolution. It was hard to make this not look like Skyrim, not Skyrim, Shaman, but I do really like this color scheme. Flop Flap, the flying dog Pokemon. Adaptability and quick feet as the abilities. Pretty sure adaptability is an EV ability, but you know, whatever. And a 525 base stat total, which may or may not be the same as the evolutions. And I gave it Sky Drop because I can kind of imagine it like swooping down on Pokemon and just picking them up and then dropping them. That sounds kind of evil, actually.
Next up, we've got grass, and I think I'm gonna make a Smoliv evolution.
Genius.
We gotta have the Smoliv face.
Yeah.
And then everywhere it goes, it oozes olive oil. That olive oil that comes out of Smoliv's head, now it just oozes everywhere. But these red spots are also cannons. I could fire the olive oil or spray it out like a geyser. And maybe he's angry because he was so scared as a baby, and now it's grown and it's powerful. It's olive cannons. And maybe instead of grass normal, it's grass fighting. And its new name is Brawliv. I like it.
I'll try my best. Okay, the second I started drawing this thing, I saw the potential straight away. The massive chunky shapes, the angry eyes, that little expression. I kind of flipped it a little bit to make it sort of more like just a bigger Smoliv, which maybe that's lazy, but I think this whole cannon idea is actually sick. Brawliv, the cannon Pokemon. I gave it huge power. This would be so busted. I think that doubles your attack stat, and Mega Launcher, which I guess you would never actually use that over huge power. Maybe you would if you wanted to go special attacker, I don't know. The stats are insane. I think I was looking at Snorlax's reference, so huge HP, a lot of attack, but abysmal speed. It's got a new move called Olive Cannon, and yeah, I mean, obviously it's got to use Aura Sphere and stuff, right?
Okay, so next is Poison.
Poison.
And I kind of want to make a Poison Dart Frog. Okay, so we got the cute frog body, and now I just need to make him a Poison Dart. All right, there we go, and it can come in multiple vibrant colors.
Yeah,
what
nice.
is its name? We'll call it Dartoad.
Dart.
I feel like that's pretty good.
Look at it. Just look at it. I imagine this thing being tiny like Joltik. I went with the yellow one as the main one and made the black spots like a crazy neon pink because, yes. Dartoad, the poison dart Pokemon. Poison Point and Poison Touch as the abilities. Obviously, it'd get like Poison Sting. This would be funny if it was using Gunk Shot. Just like a massive blast of poison gunk. Maybe its mouth can like stretch really massively. I don't know. And look how small it is.
Electric.
I love electric types.
You know, I feel like we have a lot of turtle Pokemon already, but we could always use more. And its shell is a big battery. Yeah, another electric type with Levitate.
It kind of looks like a Bullet Bill. We can work with this.
Name is just going to be Batterty. All right.
Mikey kind of nailed this one too. There wasn't much extra I could do with this except electric shape flippers. I made the battery like kind of even more battery-like. And I usually don't like human-made shapes like the plus sign on Pokemon, but whatever, we're doing it here. Batterty, the battery Pokemon. I added steel type to this because I think like it's a battery. It's got to be steel type, right? But it has that levitate ability, so there's no 4 times ground weakness here. I think this would definitely evolve, right? This has to evolve. And of course, it's got to learn charge.
Ground. I think we should have a horny toad Pokemon. Horned toad. Spike Ball.
This looks like a very Sword and Shield Pokemon.
Are horned toads the ones that can shoot blood out of their eyes?
Why do all these Pokemon people know so much about Pokemon animals? Real animals.
All right.
Really?
I don't think it'll actually squirt blood from its eyes because it'll be a bit too intense for Pokemon. We'll call this thing Hornorb.
Alright, I'm not doing the red bleeding eyes. I can make this work though. I went very like old school cute Dragon Ball style with the eyes. And overall it's just a little spiky egg thing. The color scheme basically is just Diglett. It kind of feels like a Diglett Ferroseed combination actually. Hornorb, the horny toad Pokemon. Horned toad Pokemon. I added dark type to this thing because it just is, right? It's evil. Its abilities are rough skin because obviously, and anger point because obviously. It's this one angy little thing. Decent attack, pretty good defense, and while I took away the bleeding eyes, it does have a scary face. So it's got scary face, it can use spikes, and you know, magnitude, why not?
Okay, so for the psychic one, I'm thinking we make a crystal ball Pokemon because that would be cool.
Yep, that would be sick. It's gonna have eyes.
Here, and of
Just give it eyes.
We need
please.
eyes. Yes. And
Smile in the middle.
There we go.
What
it has a curtain, a tablecloth, a cape, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I think I want to give it a mouth. There we go.
Yeah.
I think this thing's cute.
Sorry,
It floats
sorry.
around. We'll call it Prophecy.
He's great at names. He's so good at names. I wanted to add a little more to Prophecy, so instead of just the little cape thing, I also decided to give it like glitter everywhere, and eventually I decided to give it arms and legs too. This also felt like the perfect opportunity for like a crazy magical pink-blue color scheme. Prophecy, the crystal ball Pokemon. I couldn't help but add fairy type to this thing, and it kind of turned into a Kirby. Of course, it's a crystal ball, so it has anticipation and forewarn as its abilities, and of course it has foresight, but also I wanted to give it something special, so I made up Foreseen Beam, which would be like a priority psychic type move, because it can see into the future, right? So it can just attack you before the future comes. That's not how that works, is it? Rock type. Wow, this is really good.
Okay, I've drawn a weird bighorn sheep.
I like this.
Make it a Pokemon by making its horns made of stone.
Yeah.
There you go. And rock hooves.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
rock. I don't know. It has an extra pair of legs.
Oh.
Harcorn.
Corn. Why do you have to give it 4, 5, 6 legs? I actually like the idea of this one. It's very simple. It kind of reminds me of that other goat Pokemon that I don't remember what it's called, the green one, but it's a rock type. Weirdly, the 6 legs actually kind of worked. I looked at Rockruff for the color scheme, and yeah, Parkorn, the goat Pokemon. I gave it Rock Head as its ability because, again, obviously, that means it can use recoil moves, I'm pretty sure, without taking any extra damage. So that's pretty sick. It has massive attack, pretty good speed. This would actually be not bad, this Pokemon. Also, I'm pretty sure goats roll funnily, right? Do goats roll funnily? So I gave it Rollout, because I'm pretty sure goats roll funnily.
An ice type, I feel
Ice,
like
okay.
has to be a moose.
Why? Why? Sorry. I did not expect that at all.
Never mind. I'm not gonna make the ice type the moose. I'll do that with a different animal. Or a different type. Do we have a snow leopard Pokemon?
Ooh.
I'm giving it big, poofy feet.
Okay. Oh, this is gonna be fun.
What the heck? Just draw solid lines!
Relatable.
Ah! I hate art! I've slouched so
Oh, come on,
far
man.
in
You're doing
anger.
so well. I can see this
Telling
being
it
amazing.
Leopard, leopard, and powder.
I really like ice types. I think they're very cool. No pun intended. I also think leopards are pretty sick. I also think snow leopards are pretty sick. So, I was excited for this one. Pretty basic shape, kind of like a super fluffy Persian. I tried to make sure its paws were pretty big, but I don't think I actually did that justice. And I also forgot he wanted snowflake-shaped spots. So instead, it has like old school Gen 1 spots, but they're pink. Leopard, the snow leopard Pokemon. Because of this pink, and because I think it's just an amazing type anyway, Ice Fairy, like Alola Ninetales, which is one of the best designed Pokemon ever. I gave it Tough Claws as one of its abilities, which I'm pretty sure is amazing, and Snow Cloak, because that's just like the ice ability that everyone has. And of course, it must know Powder Snow, and I gave it Icicle Crash, because I'm pretty sure that's just like a really strong physical ice move. I also made it 75% female gender. I don't know, is there less male lions, leopards in the world than female ones? Because isn't there... This is probably not by accurate.
You know, I saw this moth on TikTok the
Here we
other
go.
day. I think it was called like the comet moth, and it looked so cool. I've drawn like kind of a top-down view, so you can't really see his legs, but he's got little legs. And there we go. We've got a cool moth thing.
Unlike a lot of the Poketuber people, I'm not really a bug guy, so I didn't really know what to do with this, especially given the top-down drawing reference that Mikey has given us. So I just looked at an actual reference of one of these comet moth things and made it like a little Butterfree-looking moth Pokemon. It reminds me a bit of like a Rabombi, kind of mixed with a Masquerain. Comet's off, the comet moth Pokemon. This actually would be cool if it had like some actual comet inspiration, which is why I gave it Ancient Power. I gave it Compound Eyes as the ability because bugs always get that, but also Aerialate, which makes normal type moves flying type moves. A lot of speed, and has Quiver Dance, which is one of the best setup moves ever. So this Pokemon could actually be pretty nuts, even if it is a bug type.
All right, time for the dragon type, and I'm gonna make a cockatrice Pokemon. A cockatrice
Whoa.
is basically
Oh, yeah?
a wyvern or wyvern, however you say it, but it's got a
That's
rooster
cool.
head. I've certainly drawn a chicken. Maybe I just need to commit to a color scheme.
Yes.
That isn't natural,
Oh,
but makes
not
it more like a
green.
Pokemon. What?
God damn it. That's cool. That's cool.
Huh, all
We
right,
can
sure.
make it work.
Calling it Hawkatrice.
Sick.
That sounds cool.
If you say wyvern instead of wyvern, you are crazy. Anyway, this is a very cool Pokemon idea. I was basically drawing like a Moltres / Charizard with a weird color scheme. I was actually using Gengar as a color reference for this, surprisingly. So it's like a feathery Moltres Charizard Gengar. Hawkatrice, the Cockatrice Pokemon. I gave it the abilities Guts and Reckless because it kind of seems like a bit of a savage. And look at that attack stat, holy crap. Do you think this thing would be allowed to have Brave Bird? It's pretty much a bird, right? Ghost type.
What if it's like some kind of cursed idol? A golden statue?
Sorry,
like
sorry.
Yeah, I kind of like this.
Ah.
Like, its eyes don't always look like that. They look like that once it's inflicting its curse.
Okay.
False Scourge.
Cool, he's cute,
I like
man.
this idea. I'm very proud of it.
Mikey, you should be proud of this. I actually really like the proportions on this guy. I decided I'd draw him in his non-crazy eye form so we can see how he looks normally. Beyond that, he's basically just a nice little golden guy. False Scourge, the cursed idol Pokemon. Oh man, I really like this guy. He should be real. Hey, Game Freak, you want to... wait, I can't offer him. Mikey drew this. Never mind. Of course, his ability has to be Cursed Body. I think he'd have like a bunch of normal stats, but pretty high special attack. And yeah, he'd have all the kind of cursey moves, right?
Now for the Dark type, which really just requires that the Pokemon is kind of a jerk.
Interesting way of thinking about Dark types, that they're just jerks. Oh, god damn it.
I'm gonna give it Mandibles, which
What?
is a bug trait. I'm
Okay.
also wanting them on my moose. He just has like red, like accents throughout.
That's cool.
his fur. We'll call it Doomoose.
Good name.
Glorious.
Yeah, glorious is definitely the word to describe this thing. This thing is evil. This could almost be, I mean, it's not really a legendary, is it? But like, this is a powerful Pokemon. I made it thick. Those mandible bug things on its mouth actually really worked in the design. And these like magma cracks through its skin look nuts. Doomoose, the moose Pokemon. I think this thing has to have Intimidate as its ability. And as a bonus offensive one, Sheer Force. Like I said, he's thick. A lot of HP and a ton of attack. There's apparently a move called Jaw Lock, which is apparently the signature move of Chootle and Dreadnought. I think this guy gets that for sure. It could also be Fire type, but I decided not to do that.
Now it's time for Steel, which should really be called the Metal type.
I love Steel
Because
types.
of that, I'm inspired to make a Steel type Pokemon that is not made of steel, made of copper. Okay, there we go. He's very cubic, which is fine. And maybe he has some wires sticking out.
Did not expect the orange.
Maybe his eyes will be oxidized. Okay. I mean, he's pretty simple, but I think he's cute. We'll call it Copmaton.
I don't know what the word oxidization means, but I'm pretty sure it is electric related. But I do like the orange and teal, so I decided to go to Rotom and pull some of that colors for this guy. Look at him. Copmaton, the copper Pokemon. It took a lot out of me to not make this guy electric type as well. However, he has static as his ability and galvanize, which I'm pretty sure turns all your normal type moves into electric moves. And they gave him automatize, Tomize? I don't think that word means what I thought it means. And Spark. I should make this guy electric, but I'm not doing it.
Last one. Fairy.
Fairy, let's go. I love fairy types.
Grimmsnarl is because it's a fairy type that's not like cute or pretty, so I want to try and create a Pokemon that's similar.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, love it.
No, the pink and where's the gap? There's no gap. I can see the whole thing. What is this feature? It's so dumb.
Just close the lines. Don't draw in 2 layers.
Giraffes have really long tongues. Oh, and this tongue is magical. Anything it grabs with its tongue, it's like magic.
I like it. I like it. It's creative.
This video. It's just Magiraffe. Magic giraffe.
Now, I know Mikey said he didn't really want this to be pretty and whatever, but I think he kind of did that, at least in my mind. So it kind of turned into a pretty giraffe anyway. This almost feels like a regional Girafarig form. I started using the soft pinks that are like Wigglytuff or Clefairy would have, but Mikey used a really strong pink, so I decided to do that and go like crazy hot pink and white with this thing. Magiraffe, the magical tongue Pokemon. I gave it the abilities Magic Guard and Frisk. That's a long tongue, so Frisk makes sense, right? It can frisk you and see if you have an item. This is more of a defensive Pokemon, I think. Pretty good HP, really good special defense, and decent special attack. And of course, it's got to have Lick and Dazzling Gleam, because that looks like what that tongue is doing, right? All right, there they all are. Let's see if we get in the meme review. Do you think I should make a second channel for these art videos? If I did decide to make a second channel, it'll be linked here. I'll post my finished drawings on my Twitter, links in the description. I'm going to be doing a bunch of art stuff before Pokemon Scarlet comes out, so yeah, subscribe for Panda. Hit the like and comment. Hi, Panda. And yeah, Mikey, keep drawing. I want to see more Mikey. Okay, now I have to watch this video.